And he also, I guess, he made up a stick too, so it will come with like a stick and give you some one-on-one quick lessons on how to go through the whole thing too. So, but anyways, yeah, we'll talk more later about that. And man, let me talk to him today, Caribou. Maybe he'll come on the show and talk a little bit about it too. One of these times, a little video or something for all of us, show us it, and so.
It'd be great.
All right, I believe that's it. All right, good morning, everyone. It's Sunday morning time for a Wake and Bake. We got a really kick-ass show in store for you today. A lot of you know what's coming. We've got Hypothetical Gardner in the house. Hypothetical, how you doing today?
Doing well. How are you today?
Oh, man, doing really, really well. Really excited for this show, getting to know you a little bit. We had you on Friday night, which was really cool to see. People get to know you a little bit. It's awesome. Guys, before we get to the goodies, let's say hi to everybody else first and, build some suspense, I guess you could say. So Uncle Rick, how you doing, brother? Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, good to see you, man. I'm a little nervous. I just found a piece for my vape pen, so I'm back. And today I'm back into the CBD in honor of our friend Hypothetical. I'm gonna do some vaping today. Got some Charlotte's Web here. Just loving it. And look forward to meeting everybody else.
Excellent. Opie, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Just chilling. Been a week, we had that white shit falling from the sky that we're not used to, so everything shut down. Texas got hammered. Corpus Christi is shut down. I mean, they've got like water mains breaking everywhere because they've never had to deal with it. And no one owns a plow. No one does, any of that. But, as far as grow wise, my temperatures fell real low in my outside grow room, which has me a little nervous. And like I said in our personal group earlier this morning, I was a little PO'd. My Maui Wowie started, they're in pre-flowers, so they're getting to that point where you can see sex and everything.
Yep.
Out of 4, not a single male.
Oh, that always hurts.
So, yeah, when you want one, you can't get it. So, but it is what it is, man. It's all good. Life is good. We all got our things going on, and excited to hear from Hype and throw some questions his way and pick his auto-flowering brain and just get the show going, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Okay, well, with that, we'll kick it on down the line. DPO, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, man, I'm glad to be here, shoot the shit with everybody. I want to give a shout out to Fluffy and his old man real quick. You know what I mean? I understand they're going through some health issues and stuff like that. They're in my prayers and in my heart all the time. Much love for both y'all. I also wanted to say what's up to Bug and her old man if they're watching. There's some outsiders coming in saying what's up, showing some love. So if y'all are watching, appreciate it. And I'm smoking on some Sherbert Octane lag resin this morning. My buddy came through. He knew I'd been having one of those weeks. He came through last night pretty late, and he was like, here you go, bro. I was super stoked about that. So starting Sunday off right. Going to get some flour later today. Let's see, going on about week 3.5 of my flour. Things are starting to get nice and sticky, and it's starting to look like flowers now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Starting to get that smell in there. One's kind of a little bit more limey. The other one definitely has like the cookie and the onion in it. So it's cool just watching it all kind of progress along and stuff like that.
That's when you sticking your face in there like every half hour. Oh, has something changed in there?
Yeah, right. So the best is opening it up every morning. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hell yeah. Just watching the subtle differences through the night and stuff like that. They're pretty much done stretching now. So everything, I can adjust the light a little bit more and just, learning as much as I can through all you guys is awesome, Love it. Loving every minute of it. Stoked to see what Hypothetical is going to be throwing out today, man. Ready to learn some stuff.
Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And just before we kick it on down the line here, we want to dedicate this show to Fluffykins and his dad. As Steve mentioned, they've been going through some stuff lately, and Fluffykins, just want you know, you're one of my absolute favorite people in this world these days, and you've been there for me when I've been going through shit, and I'm right here standing behind you, brother, as are all of us. We've all got your back, and positive thoughts going to you and your old man. So if anybody, if you got a joint, a dab, or whatever you got in your hands, light it up for our brothers, please. Muchly appreciated. And as we do that, let's kick it down to the line to probably the busiest person I know, Indica B. How are you doing, brother?
Good morning, guys. Doing well, man. Good morning to everybody in the chat joining us. Good morning, Hypothetical. I'm stoked to have you too, bro. And even though I'm not a huge autoflower guy, but I'm thrilled to always learn, man. And I look up to your work, bro. You do some amazing work, man. So stoked to have you on. Smoking on some Tangy cookies this morning from the dispensary. Shout out to Sanctuary for always keeping me medicated while I'm waiting on my harvest. And yeah, we got the room pumping right now. We're hitting week 5. Yeah, week 5 tomorrow in the flower room. I got Automation is Freedom coming up today. He's taking off a bunch of clones from me that I cut for him, and get him up and running again. And yeah, doing school, man, and just building this business, and yeah, just staying busy, man. So cheers to everybody, and I hope everybody enjoys the show. And last but not least, if you can, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you for all your support and love, guys. Appreciate it. And my prayers and thoughts go out to you, Fluffkins, and your father, man. You know, we got your back, brother. This is our family here, and we all got each other's back, man. So if you need anything, let us know, brother.
Absolutely. And next in line, brother Drizzit. How you doing, Drizzt?
Doing great. Having a good day so far. The crow's growing really well. And I'm going to try to keep up with any questions in chat. So if anybody has any questions for Hypothetical, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll make sure that we get to them. Just smoking on some mimosa and peanut butter breath this morning. Looks like I'm going to be filling my bowl up again really soon too, because it's getting low. Kick it on down to the next person, guys.
Well, let's see. Prophet, are you there? It's looking like he might be off screen right now. Oh, here he comes in to save the day. Cup full of coffee. Prophet, how you doing, brother?
Good. How about you guys?
Oh, doing excellent.
Cool.
What you smoking on today?
Solid diesel from a friend of mine. Gotta love that taste, man. It just kind of grabs you by the poo-poo, you know?
Yep. My very first grow ever was Sour D and Purple Kush. So it's
Nice.
bit of an affinity for that one.
What else has been going on? Everybody good?
Yeah, I think
From the
so.
sounds of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it, Fluffy. Hope everything goes well.
Yep. Our thoughts and prayers with you and your old man Fluffy. Now I guess it's good as time as any to get into the good stuff, eh? Hypothetical Gardner. How the hell are you?
Well, I am always well.
That's one of the reasons why we love you, man. Every time I see you, you got a smile on your face. That kind of shit's infectious, you know?
I appreciate it. I try to keep a smile on my face. That's the only way to get through this world nowadays. COVID and everything. Too crazy out there. It's too much of it's too easy to fall into the negativity. It's all over the place. So I just try to keep positive. It's keep a smile on your face, and it tells your brain be happy, and it keeps you happy.
There's some wisdom right there. That's some advice you can take to heart. I believe that sometimes you got to force the smile on, but when you do feel better. Let's face it.
Yep, that's exactly it. And I was dealing with some pain earlier. I had a little bit of CBDs mixed with a couple of mystery nugs. I have a whole jar of it. And my back isn't hurting anymore, so it's a pretty good day so far.
I like it. I love it. So, first of all, I guess a lot of people that are watching right now, they follow you on Cannabis and got a pretty good idea of who you are. But there's going to be a bunch of people that are just hearing about you for the first time. What can you tell us about yourself?
All right. Well, I just recently started putting out basically a bunch of seeds that I made for myself as my own medicine. I'd grow a bunch of stuff from a bunch of different breeders. I stuck strictly to autos. It's just easier with my life. I get to go in there twice a day, morning and night. I go in there right after the lights come on. I go in there a few hours before the lights go off. On my day off, I can do a third visit. I don't have to worry about the light cycle or trying to cram everything I need to do within this one specific 12-hour cycle. So going from autos, I grew a whole bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different breeders, decided I liked the way that this one does and this one does when I put them together in my grinder. Let's see what happens when I put them together in pollen. Not quite what I expected on my first run. I actually accidentally tripped over and made gold. I took a sour crinkle that I had already reversed and made more or less F2s of, reverse S1s. But I took one of those, I pollinated a D's Nugs F2 that I had picked. I like its bud structure. And from there, I created Cannon Co. Dense resinous nugs, fast. It's done normally in 77. I know Scout just took it to like 86 days and got a real nice dark coloration out of it. But that one was a great pain medication for me, especially right after work. I have old back injuries, car accidents and things that'll do it to you. So I found certain strains helped with it, certain strains didn't. And that was before I got introduced to CBD. Along the lines of testing other things, Auto Seeds gave me a sweet CBD, and Dynafem gave me a CBD Kush. All auto flowers. I grew sweet CBD, and it was the sweetest, honestly, the truly best tasting flower I'd ever had in my life. It didn't taste like cannabis at all, that I had expected it to. It was one of those, give it to a non-smoker and tell them it's any other plant. They'll never know. But it was super, super sweet. So it turned me on to the terps. I grew the CBD Kush, and again, it was that super sweet lime. Anybody who's grown it will attest. It's not a huge plant. It's actually super on the small side every time I've grown it, but it's dense, it's resinous, and it's pure CBD. It's 12, 16%, depending on which plant. I crossed that as a male, used its pollen on 4 different females, and I created my elevated CBD line. Those 4 females are different THC strains, so I wanted them all to be 1-to-1s. Because I like the way CBD hit me, like a wave and a warm hug, all at once, that relaxing 2 seconds into somebody grabbing your shoulders to just give you a love and back massage. That.
Yeah, I get it. 100%. I get that.
So I took that, and I wanted that with still getting some head buzz. It doesn't combat the THC for me. I still get high. I'm sure if I was too high and I hit some straight CBD, it might help level me out or at least calm me down. but I haven't experienced a thing where CBD makes me not get high. Most of my smoking mixes are like two-thirds of a grinder or 3/4 of a grinder THC, and then I throw a nug of CBD in there, or I'll smoke the 1-to-1. I rarely smoke pure THC or CBD anymore.
I'm not too far away from that. Since I've discovered CBD, I find I much prefer that, and yeah, I'm looking for that mixture now in there. I don't know what it is yet. As I ramble like an idiot here for a second, there's a sweet spot in there that I'm realizing, and I need to find it, because I've spent a lot of time, particularly the last couple months, stressed out or sore and smoking myself into a mental stupor where I basically sit there and look at a wall. Since I've discovered CBD, I can function 100%. And like you said, it's like that warm hug that you get. And it's just like, wow, the anxiety goes, all the pains, they're lessened, or if not gone. But there's the THC needs to be in there as well. So it's, where is this happy dance mixture? I've started working on my own CBD THC crosses, which we can go into another time.
Yeah, just not to butt in, I can't agree with you guys more, man. That's why I want to try to find some good CBD strains. To say what kind of reflect on what you said, hypothetical. And lately I've been getting the CBD. I think it's like YMCA or something at my dispensary, with a good, like indica or something, man. And I, excuse me, I've been mixing them, man, and what a fucking difference I've noticed, man. Holy shit, like, because I have a lot of medical issues myself, and it's like, it's like, holy shit, what a difference from just smoking like a pure indica or a pure CBD, it's like, holy shit, man. It's like, it's insane, it's crazy. It's because I've heard too, like I think Rasa Jeff said it does like the reverse opposite to him. I know there's people out there, with different receptors and those things in nature that it will actually do the opposite, but yeah, I was like, holy shit, the pain's like, phew, gone, so.
There was just a comment in the chat from Hurton Albertan. It kind of summed up what I thought about CBD too. It says, maybe if I grow it, I just have a hard time with the idea of purchasing something that's not going to get me high.
I can, you know what? Yep. Because I've had the same thought for some reason, until I just recently stumbled on how amazing the CBD is for you. I almost kind of looked at it as a novelty, to tell you the truth. But now I'm just like, whoa, no, I need to look at this. Basically the wife and I have split up, right? And she has made the decision she just wants to smoke CBD weed, right? It's not a good situation. Like, it's not a bad situation. We're keeping it civil, but through our own anxieties and what works for each of us, I've made the decision that I'm looking for a mixture of THC CBD. She's looking for CBD, pretty much straight CBD. So she's, she's figured out what works for her, is what I'm getting at. And we're all getting, what it comes back to is the high CBD, because I had a really good talk with her yesterday, and she says, it's the same thing. Like, she gets a little bit high from the CBD, but there's no anxiety and her aches and pains and stuff. It all goes away. And it's like, so wow, there it is. More, and I can speak to her anxiety, having lived with her for 8 years. Right. This is a lady that suffers with extreme anxiety. So to hear her say that is, to me, CBD, yes, in my long ass rambly way.
Hey, there was a question in chat from Raider. Question for Hypothetical. For growers who don't know or have basic knowledge of seeds and breeding, what does the F1, F2, V1, V2, etc. mean? Please explain.
Yeah, absolutely. So for F1 is, I took pollen from my CBD Kush and I put it on a a swamp berry, female. Those seeds are filial generation 1. The babies, that they are the first time that those two have been crossed, and so they are filial generation 1. When I take 2 of those F1s, grow them out, cross those seeds that they make will be F2 and just continue down the line. But I just smoked 2 joints. I'm gonna need the rest of that question, please.
They were asking about like what's the difference between the F1s and the S1s, that sort of thing.
Okay, for S1, that is for selfing it. When I took CBD Kush, I took pollen, I reversed 1 branch of it, made it into a male branch-ish. I got pollen from a female of the plant. I put it on the same plant and just let those seeds grow out. Those seeds were from a selfed plant.
So that makes the S1.
Right.
Okay. I think that pretty much answers what he was asking, I hope.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Well, what one do you find to be more potent and better in the long run, like that from the F1 to the F3?
F3s you can get slightly more stable than F1s, because you go through and you stabilize. You pick through F2s, you open up the gene pool, and then hopefully you pick 2 of the similar genetically, and then you get your F3s that are going to be closer to the 2 that you picked, as opposed to the F2, which is just open. And then F1s, you get basically only your dominant traits showing. Normally you're going to get 3 or 4 real noticeable phenotypes out of your F1s.
Cool. Thanks. I was actually curious about that myself.
Yeah.
Now, does anybody have anything like ingesting it, like CBD or only CBD? Has anybody got any knowledge of that or first-hand experience? Would that be like, can I have, how we make the THC capsules or whatever? Can I do the CBD ones and take it in the morning like a Tylenol or something? Because I deal with a lot of back pain, my shoulder wreck, so I deal with constant pain, and THC helps, but not. It's just kind of strain specific at that point. You know what I mean? But so I just started messing around with the 1-to-1 a couple times that my buddy had got, and I really liked it. So I was wondering on this next round, if I got some CBD flower, some good quality CBD flower, and threw it in with my edible, my other stuff, for it, will that help with the pain, ingesting it?
Well, I can't speak for your body.
Right.
I know for me, a little bit. I don't know. I've come to realize I don't get high on edibles. I got high on edibles one time when I did them the wrong way, back when I was a teenager. Which was a fun story. Basically 2.5 grams of keef, threw it into brownie batter, stirred it up, threw it in the oven on the low and slow method, and then ate 2. I don't remember eating the second one. I was told I ate the second one. And I understood the melting into the couch. But that's the only time I've ever gotten high. I recently made an entire batch of butter, used a whole stick, and nothing. Not a body buzz, nothing. So I don't know how ingesting will work for everybody, but ultimately you're still intaking those cannabinoids. I know that there's a whole big CBD market. I'm not in that market. I grow flower. So I don't want to promise you that, but I know there's a whole market about it. In the state that I'm at, it's one of those like big on hemp states, but no THC. It's the same plant, but okay. Basically there's a huge CBD market, and there's a lot of edibles on that CBD market, and honey and this and that. I've never really made the same notice on it, but then again, that was purchased product. So we all know how the CBD market is. You know, let me distill it first and then put just CBD in this when it still needs all those other things. There's a reason why the CBD plants do have a different terp profile. They're activating more CBD dominant things than the THC plants and the THC dominant plants.
I'll figure this mute button out eventually. I'll attest to my short history with CBD, and I've touched bases with it a little bit, but right about the time of this, we started this show, I started taking a 25-to-1 CBD tincture. I honestly don't know the percentages. I could look it up, but every morning, and I'd enjoy it. But you know, it didn't last long, and I'd forget to take it. But every time I took it, it was okay. Well, a week or two ago, Cariboo introduced me to some flower, and let me tell you, that is it's just incredible for pain. And anybody that knows me, probably looking at my eyes right now, can tell how fucking stoned I am. And this is from Charlotte's Web that I smoked.
It's bleeding from the eyes.
It's really insane. It really, and I got bad arthritis, man. I just feel really good right now. But I was curious, if you could tell me a little bit more about Charlotte's Web, that you might like percentages and shit like that.
To be honest, as far as I haven't actually spent much time looking into it. So this summer, the wife and I, we basically spent a bunch of money to build a grow room. And when we did that, we decided we were going to stock up on strains. And so we each picked a couple of strains from a seed bank, and one of her choices was Charlotte's Web, because she wanted to start growing CBD. Like I said earlier, I looked at it as kind of a novelty, is like whatever. I believe it's somewhere around 17 or 18% CBD. But that's about the closest I can get to you. But I'm right with you, Rick. I absolutely love it. So the crosses I was talking about is, well, I pollinated one of my phenos with a White Widow Afghani pollen, but that was also in the room with some extremely intersexed OG Kush. So I would actually be wary of any seeds that come off that, because there's a good chance that it's actually intersexed OG Kush that pollinated it. But what I've got going on right now, as some of you are aware, is I was able to get my genetics to a different place where they're safe for the time being. And 3 of those phenotypes were Charlotte's Web pollinated with my Violator crossed with Chemdog Afghani pollen. So that's the male I use to make all my F2 generations for the Violator crosses that are coming up. So we're going to see what's going on in there. And it's like everybody seems to be really keen on finding like a 1-to-1 ratio or something like that. B, you were just talking about it. And we've talked many times about how I love nothing more than to have my genetics growing in your system. So I'll get some seeds to everybody that wants them, and just like, let's see what we can do for people. Because there's gonna be more than enough to go around. It's, you know.
I was curious, hypothetical, if you knew much about Charlotte's Web. And my other question would be, so it's given to children for epilepsy, but I would assume obviously it's always in a liquid state rather than vape it or consume it that way.
I would think that's probably a good assumption. Something along the lines of like full spectrum oil or Rick Simpson oil type of deal would be my guess.
Hey, buddy, thanks. What do you think, hypothetical?
I honestly know nothing about Charlotte's Web. I know that it's high CBD, but I don't know its ratios. I don't know if it's a 1-to-1 or if it's a pure CBD. I assume it's probably closer to that pure CBD. But but I don't want to speak wrong or ill. It changed a lot of minds. It got people to get some laws changed in a lot of states. So I love the strain. It's amazing. And I hope they keep putting it out. But unfortunately, I've never actually gotten to try it. But clearly, it's a good medicine for a lot of people. Let's keep putting it out.
I'm interested in the, excuse me, I'm interested too in the growth. I'm growing some right now and they're just fucking insane. I use it trellis, so I keep bending them down, bending them down. It's going to be a monster. It seems to grow a lot like faster than a sativa, maybe more like a hemp. I don't know.
Oh, I know that a lot of the initial kind of first round of high CBD strains were essentially hemp that was selectively bred a few times. And it went down a few generations. They're like, hey, cool, we've got some decent numbers, let's put them out. And then they started crossing from there. So that may still be some of that, just outside growing. I know if it's an early cross, if it's an F1 or based on an F1, clone of an F1, it's going to grow faster. We all know about that hybrid vigor. It's a thing. But I know with the two that I was using, well, all right, the one that I've used, I'll put it that way. It tended to be a smaller, shorter indica E, what you would think of an indica plant. That short, squatty. It was a fast grower, certainly, but it didn't super branch or anything. That's why I crossed it with a super hash plant that does do all that.
Yeah. Cool.
That way my 1-to-1 would be a yielder, and I love the flavor of both of them. So I just wanted to make something that was going to be super sweet, kind of lemon lime, with just a little bit of something else in there.
I know.
Came out well. I've got some in the garden now. And
so a question from chat hype is from Raider Dank Vader. He wants to know, do you have any autos that are legal to grow in a hemp state?
That are my genetics? No.
Yes.
Okay. However, I can say that the CBD Kush is does qualify as legal hemp. You can sell it over the counter in all those hemp only states, and that's what I actually used to cross it with. The precise actual plant, I had some of the plant tested, and that one came out as 12% CBD overall, between a high, middle, and low bud, because I wanted actual real numbers I'm breeding with this plant. So it came out to about 12% CBD overall, and it was just under 1% total THC, with I think 0.2 Delta 9.
Oh, okay.
Which all makes it hemp legal in those hemp only states.
And I think too, on a lot of this is like, so I have a person whose young daughter was teething, right? So we're talking a kid, and this made me really nervous because I normally don't fool with CBD. I mean, my stuff is pretty potent. But at any rate, so they were buying CBD oil from a guy at the farmer's market who was quote unquote making it himself and selling it, but he was doing it legally. But I think the problem is when they get into distilling, because they put so many regulations in the hemp only states, when they get into that distilling process, they eliminate so many of the good cannabinoids from the tincture, even though it's not THC, that they're taking away the benefits. Because my dosage that on the hemp I got was technically way lower than his, milligram wise. And they swore by it. And it had no THC. These were tested hemp plants that I made this from. I searched high and low to make it. But, you know, they call me up. Hey, I need some more oil. She's teething again or whatever. And I'll make them a batch of oil and they apply it with a Q-tip and it knocks it right out. But if they use the store-bought stuff, it does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
No, you're good. I fully believe you. Like I said, I'm a believer in the whole plant medicine. It's, how do I put this? Throughout history, it's when we start distilling and going, I want this one specific thing out of this plant, that we start having problems. We weren't killing people from overdosing on white tree oak tea. But when we started turning it into a pill, go ahead, take 4 or 5 of them, see what happens. Same thing with opiates. Just the poppy plant, it was a little addicting. It was a lot of it addicting as soon as we turned it into, as soon as we started extracting. And the more extracting we got, the more lethal it got. I firmly believe there's no science. I'm not a scientist, but we didn't have CHS 20 years ago when we were all smoking flower. On the other hand, we started distilling it and started just turning everything into dabs, waxes, and started taking in way, way higher doses than what we're used to. And it's a plant medicine like everything else. I'm not saying that dabs equal CHS in everybody every time. I don't know for sure what caused CHS or if it was just a misdiagnosis and just something to point the finger at the canvassing industry for a minute. But if it was a thing, if it was caused by cannabis, you're not going to convince me that it was caused by the flower side. When we're over here distilling everything and taking it down to, here's your 100% THC diamond. That's not what the plant wanted to give you.
Exactly, because they're introducing chemicals. I mean, you know, like, I'm a believer God put the plant here on the planet as a medicine, and it was perfect the way he made it, right? But when you, like, and I distill, I'm not saying I don't, but I do it solventless. So anytime I do oil, tinctures, whatever, it's solventless. I don't use alcohol. I don't use butane. I don't use any of that. And so, but on a lot of these, like when you get into making the diamonds and all this stuff, you don't know what all they're actually using some pretty harsh solvents to get to those very high concentrated levels that they're getting in those diamonds and whatnot. And I don't think that's good for you. That's not what God intended. You know, I mean, not to go on a religious, not to take it to a religious aspect, but that's whoever your God is, your creator that you believe in, but that's not how it was meant to be used, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm not going to speak too heavily on the way they extract it, simply because I've never done it. I've listened to all the podcasts on it. I've watched a lot of videos on it, talked to a lot of people on it, including a chemist buddy. But I don't do it, so I don't want to speak too heavily on it. I'm somewhat knowledgeable. There's a reason why I don't do dabs. That and the twice I've done it, I didn't get high. And I don't want to speak too heavily on something I don't know, because I like to be right. So if you don't speak on what you don't know, then you tend to be right a lot more often.
Exactly.
So to fill some gap, I made the 1-to-1s. I call them my elevated CBD. They are F1s. So I know we colloquially call them 1-to-1s, but I don't want to promise that. and testing would be awesome. But unfortunately, where I'm at, I can't actually get them tested. So if anybody is a tester in a position that can get them tested, holler at me, hit me up on Cannabis. But I would love to know what the actual levels are. I know that they're all effective. I know that they come out in the middle of the mother and father plants, but I can't promise a 1-to-1. I call them a 1-to-1-ish, because they're across. There's going to be some that come out that are hypothetically, say 75% THC and 25% CBD. Some of them are going to come out 50-50. Some of them are going to come out 75% CBD with just a little bit of THC. I know that they're all going to be somewhere in the middle just because that's the way genetics work. But I don't have the ability to test it. So again, anybody testers available that have the ability to get it tested in those states where it's cool and easy, holler at me.
Do you grow outdoors?
I wish I would the minute I could. Now there are certain varieties that I have that I would say don't ever grow it outdoors. Just based on my indoor growing, it almost always comes out as super dense rocks on sticks. And I know that outdoor that just equals mold, and I don't want you to get mold on your plant. I don't give it the ideal, like, let me drop the humidity and flower and all that. If it's 60% humidity in the room, or if it's 80% humidity, because that's what it is, that's what it is. I just keep fans blowing and keep the air circulating, keep the exhaust fan on. I've never had powdery mildew. I've never had bud rot. I've had root issues caused by me, but I've never had the other ones, and I don't want them. Eventually, I am going to do a grow where I try to kind of push those limits, like have just an exhaust fan and no circulation, or something similar. Just open the top vent, have no exhaust fan and just a circulation fan. Just to see what I can do, how hard I can push my plants, how hot I can get it. I know there's times where I'll cut my exhaust fan off under my CMH midday, and I'll do that for an hour or two and let it crank up to 100, 115, 120, and just kind of cook them while they're in early veg. Just once, just to stress them, because it's good for them. And I got rambly, I'm sorry.
You know, I'm of the firm belief that that in most of Canada, it's impossible to grow a photoperiod naturally, like without light depth or something like that. And I think we're just too far north of the 49th as a parallel. You know, if we got some people from Michigan here, no, close. I think Michigan touches Canada. I'm just curious how. Anyway, before I start rambling, I'm thinking that the future of cannabis in Canada is got to be autoflower. We can't naturally do it outdoors, but we are blessed with so many other things. Like I hear you talk about mold and powdery mildew and bugs and all that shit. We don't really have an issue. Our big issue is the deer. You know, we got to deal with those, but you can deal with it. But we don't have the insects or they certainly don't bother cannabis. We just can't start it and finish it naturally. Our days are too short.
Yeah, I'd definitely say the autoflowers are going to be your friend. And I mean, if necessary, I know that there are strains that regularly finish shorter. I'm actually trying to isolate that in one of mine that's not going out as an F1. I grew some swampberry one time. It's a sour crinkle pollen on a strawberry nuggets plant. And normally most of my plants, I'll tell you, I run them on an 84-day cycle. I cut them at 84 days, period, end discussion. Some of them are ready at 77. Some of them are ready 84. Sometimes 87. If it's one of the bigger ones. But pretty much right around that 84-day mark. But these came out and were done. They were like 2-ounce plants of dense, frosty, and done in 56 days. Not on the regular. It was a couple of phenos a couple of times, and I want to find them, and I want and I want to make seeds, and I want to be able to put that out for people, because of situations like yours where, yeah, you've got a very, very short window. Here, get it while you can. Well, here, knock down 2 crops real quick. Or the people that just, they have problems with that, mold in Florida. Well, all of a sudden you can grow a heavy dense indica because you can grow it in the spring right before it gets over too much on the humidity, and you mold everything out, or before the bugs really hit. So that was part of the CBD, and the C Wantberry D was put on that one, and it was closer to a 65-day finisher. But with the CBD in there, you kind of want to cut those down around 70-ish days anyway, if you're wanting those elevated CBD levels before they break down.
Cool. I did have some other, you're breaking the action here. Oh, so your light cycle for growing? On and your hours on and off?
Oh, I run 18 and 6 pretty much all the time. Although just due to temperature and climate control, in the winter, just because of the way the electric bills work, I can actually run it a little bit longer. So I'll run it 19 or 20 hours on. In the summer, I'll knock it down to 16, 17 hours. It just kind of depends on what my goals are, what I'm running, what strains I'm running, and how much I'm trying to yield. Because sometimes I'm not worried about the yield. If I did really, really good job the run prior, and I'm just growing to keep myself on a cycle, then I'll run it on that lower, just to keep the temperature, or one, keep temperatures low, because low temp grows are great. But it'll also keep the electric bill low. And who doesn't like a lower electric bill, right?
Yeah.
But that's the convenience of autos, is you get to pick it. I mean, there are people who throw them in the flower tent and run them on 12-12. It's not going to be as big as it could be. Surprise, you're giving it less light than you could. But if you're expecting it to be lower than it's supposed to be, throw it in your flower tent. Give it 12-12. It's fine. Or throw it in your veg tent. They only take up a small corner. Throw it in a little 1 gallon if you're not trying to make it your biggest yielder. And just keep one going. Harvest it every 84 days, every 3 months.
Yeah. I'm shocked that, like, in Canada, like, legally, every family can have 4 plants outdoors. Why the hell wouldn't they have? Am I muted?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I said I'm jealous.
You were muted. Yeah. So, but I just don't understand why more and more people. And I'm thinking, yeah, autoflower is the way to go. I mean, set it and forget it. Like, why isn't everybody got 4 autoflowers in their backyard in Canada?
I agree. I want to get the stigma away, because unfortunately for like 15, 20 years, or let's be honest, for about 10 years they sucked and everybody knew it. They were being worked on, they were being developed, but I'm not out here touting lowrider. Nowadays breeders like me are blessed to get to ride on the coattails of people that came before me, who made them good. I know I was over on AFN, and I got no good couple of them folks just through AFN, and I know Mossy was over there and made a huge impact on auto flowers in general. Her and Mandalorian, Mandalorian Genetics, both, they came together, they made Auto Flower Network, and they really helped change the name and get people noticing, like, hey, they don't suck so hard anymore. People are actually starting to make them worth growing. And I've not gotten to use Mandalorian yet. Hard on that yet, though. I've got certain breeders that I like for certain things, because I've come to realize that every breeder breeds differently. I breed for myself. I don't actually breed for the public. As crazy as it sounds. I don't think at all about what people are gonna like. I've grown the strains and it either helped me with my pain and got me nice and high, or it didn't. Excuse the squeaky puppy. Hey, pick a different toy. It either helped me with my back pain and got me high, or it didn't. And if it didn't do either of those two things, it's not my breeding project. If it died too easily, it's not in the breeding project. If it was finicky, if it couldn't stand up to fungus gnats, because I get them every run, and I've stopped treating for them because I've noticed that some plants like them, that they're not really a detriment, they don't really care. And then other plants, they will straight outright die. So if it dies from fungus gnats, I don't bother with it. I want my plants to be easy for me to grow. I want them to be set it and forget it. I want them to be, I didn't pH for 2 years. As it turns out, my tap water is 500 ppm and 8.5 out the tap. And that was going straight in or getting mixed with the nutrients and going straight in. Surprise. And I was still growing plants. They weren't 6 ounce plants, but they were 2 and 3 ounce. And those were the ones that went into the breeding project. You know, what can withstand not pHing? What can withstand fungus gnats and high temperatures and all the bad things that you're not supposed to do? I wanted those ones. And now I'm kind of glad I selected for them, because now I can say, yeah, and they're for the newbie. I have yet to kill a Cannon Co. I've tried a lot of ways. You're welcome to try. And I started doing the 1-to-1s because I thought I might need this. And then I realized, like, no one's got 1-to-1s, or there's like 3 out at all. And there needs to be a variety, especially since I know those particular breeders. Nothing against any particular breeder. They're just not breeding for what I need. I needed to breed for what I needed. Ultimately, I wanted a whole bunch of seeds of mine, and only having to buy them once, because $45 for a 3-pack is freaking ridiculous. And now that I'm making them available, you're not going to pay $45 for a 3-pack for me. That's ridiculous. Unfortunately, I'm new. I'm starting out. So, you know, I've got it at 5 a seed because it's what I can afford right now. That price is only going to go lower. I've got a sale. It ends today. It's been going on for about 2 weeks. It's posted up on my page. I'm not going to plug it too hard here, but go to Cannabis and
plug that shit, man. Plug it. This is your day on the show, dude. Feel free. Slam it.
All right, I will. It's
sell yourself, man. Sell it. Give it all.
It's a sample pack. There's been a couple folks that have already grabbed them up. I've only got a few more left. I'm trying to sell out of them by the end of the day. It would be awesome to actually sell out of what I set aside.
All right, folks. Well, let's get it done. Hey, get in contact with him and let's sell this guy's seeds out for him, man. This guy is awesome. Come on here, do a great show, and he's so knowledgeable. Contact him, get a hold of him for knowledge. Like, a lot of people have been doing it.
The part that's killing me is the Cash App. I don't have that Cash App, dude. I got to get that. I got PayPal, and I haven't even had time to do anything yet. But I definitely want to get there to get some.
I would love PayPal, except for that they would just take my money and freeze it.
Yeah.
Hey, set a pack away for me, man. I'll get in touch with you after the show. I want to run some CBD stuff. So I'll talk with you after the show, but put a pack away for me if you can, brother.
Have you got e-transfer in the States? E-transfer?
I'm sorry.
E-transfer? Do you have that down there?
I haven't heard of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
Anybody heard of it from the US? E-transfer? No? Okay. Yeah.
I also take
Mail it,
Bitcoin,
I think.
or if you don't want the government involved, I also take Monero as an alternate coin.
All that stuff is on your site.
Yep,
This
yep,
information.
yep. All that's on the flyer. I do take the altcoins just because I understand sometimes you're in that super prohibition land. You don't even want to play with it at all. That's where Monero comes in. All your government can see is that you had Monero and then you sent it away. They don't get to see who it went to, how much it was. They see that you had Monero and then you didn't.
For your sake, I hope they legalize federally, man. It'll just make it so. Well, I suppose there's good and bad to everything, but just this whole we just do an e-transfer and bing, bang, boom, it's done. It's so simple.
Isn't it
Exactly.
crazy that we have to
I
go
get
through
the
all
one
this
you guys
just for
down
some
there.
good medicine? You know, like to try to get good medicine. This is crazy that people have to go through this. You know what I mean? So it's awesome that
Right.
that you're putting in the work for this to happen, man. You know what I mean? Because this is first steps to change, and it's awesome that you're at the forefront of it. You know, and being able to make it accessible. And I love that your goal is to make stuff cheaper. You know what I mean? Like you don't hear that.
No,
So
I wanted it
that's awesome. You know.
Yeah, for real. I want it accessible. I want it to be accessible to everybody. I said it on Friday. I know we got some new listeners, but I want to get in the industry and crash the market. I want to do away with this $15 steed horse shit. Sorry. But it's crap. Like I get it. Like as a breeder, I get it. You put in work, you throw away seeds. I've made some really, really nice bird seed before. And a lot of it. I was playing with duck's foot and making crosses, and it just didn't come out. And I threw away a little over 2,000 seeds ish, just from all the different plants that I pollinated with that pollen. I threw them all away. None of them were any decent. I just don't think that a plant should be something that you're charging $15 for that for. Like, it didn't cost me that much to make. It's something that I was doing anyway. I don't know too many people that are cannabis breeders that started out going, I'm going to grow this plant because I'm going to be a cannabis breeder. I don't. It was people who were growers and went, I really, really love this plant. I want to know more about it, how it works. I want to make new ones. I want to make my own. Or it was somebody going, I need these seeds to be not $15 a piece. That's it. I needed the seeds to not be $15 a piece, and I love the plant, and breeding it just made me fall more in love. And I just don't think maybe it's my liberal sensibilities a little bit. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm in a red state. But I just think that people should be able to have access to medicine. Especially when it comes to it being a plant and raw plant material. It isn't hard to make cannabis flower. You grow a plant, you cut it down, you hang dry it for a week, you throw it in a jar for 2 weeks, and you're good to go. It is not hard. And it can be done simpler. That's just closer to the right way-ish. But it shouldn't be these ridiculous prices. I hear legal states charging $60 an eighth, and I'm like, I'm in an illegal state and it's $30 an eighth. Sometimes 50 if the guy's being a dickhead. What? I just don't get it. When I know that the cost to grow it is roughly $1 a gram ish on a low yielder. That's including the electric bill and the cost of nutrients. Unless you're growing single plants at a time, the cost goes up way a lot. Okay, fine, charge craft prices, but most people aren't. And I feel like most dispensaries are not growing single plants. So there's no reason for it to be so much. I know taxes are a thing. Taxes are a percentage. I think there's a lot that can change. And as far as the home grow goes, there's a lot that can change there too. Like I said, I want to crash the industry. I want to crash the market and make this thing a tomato, except a much, much more fragrant, fun, medicinal use. And with auto flowers, you can have a windowsill plant. It doesn't have to be your huge yielder. It can be the conversation, please. It just a small little flower pot like everybody has and stick that thing in a windowsill. Hey, look at mine, it's purple. Hey, look at mine, it's bright green and frosty. Hey, look at mine, it's branchy. Mine's one bud on a stick. I want that to be the thing. What's your flower look like? And not just on this show and at Cannabis. I want it to be the norm, like everywhere. It's just a matter of knocking. It's a matter of knocking down the social barriers and normalizing it. And it starts with that Fed decrim in the U.S. side, anyways. I know it's starting to come down a lot, and it's great to see it. It's way further than I ever thought I'd see it in my lifetime. I just want to keep it going, and the cheaper it can be made, the cheaper it can be produced, the cheaper it can get out to the people. And same thing with seeds. I don't want that to be the cost prohibition for anybody. You don't have to start out with the $1,000 light. I started out and I still use my two $80 Amazon lights. I still use my cheap $80 tent and my $120 tent. Like, I didn't go high expense. Even my CMH is less than $300 setup. And that's on the super high end. And I think I'm way over on that. It's probably closer to 200. You don't have to spend all the money to grow the dank. There's that like 80-20 rule, and it applies in cannabis too. I'm currently growing under a Mars Hydro 2K that I borrowed from a buddy, and I realized that I like my CMH better. I have an LED setup, and they have their purpose, and it's doing exactly what I thought it would, which is perfect, except for it's not what I wanted. So I'm going to be giving that back to him, getting my CMH. CMH grows them taller, a little bit lankier, and just yields a little bit higher. Whereas the LEDs are going to grow them denser, tend to be shorter, squattier, and I have to pay a little bit more attention to that penetration depth. It's a personal thing. I have my LEDs in my other tent. I still use them. I still love them. Dense frosty nugs every time. It's the ones that I'm using for the solo cup competition on Cannabis. In the event that I win, I want it to look good and be dense and frosty. So LED was the way to go on that one, and the blurples were the way to go on that one. They are not the big fancy ones. They were cheap and easy. I think they'd probably be $50-$60 nowadays if they were still in production and new. I want it to be something where everybody does it, or it's not a thing if it's done. Where quite literally it can be a weed. I want it to accidentally pop up in my yard. You have no idea. I want it to be just that ubiquitous. And it starts with reducing these costs, making it more easy for the people. Like I said, I don't breed to be a breeder. I breed for me, and I realize, hey, if it works for me, maybe this one will work for you. Try it. That's actually why I have my sample pack out, is because I wanted to kind of make my genetics known a little bit, make it not cost prohibitive, and I did okay on Bitcoin for a little bit. So I had a little bit of extra spending money that I can use on shipping. So basically it's $20, and it's 2 of each of Can & Co. Oh hell, of course I'm gonna have a memory loss. Can & Co, Resinato, Seawant Berry D, and CBDs. So it's 2 of my 1-to-1s and 2 of my high THCs. I'm having a problem memorizing because I suck and I give everybody freebies. So everybody's getting at least 1 pack. The $40 pack is a 5-pack of the above strains. And then it's 2 sets of freebies. And then there is a $70 pack, just in case somebody's just hella super interested and wants 40 seeds. They'll be getting basically a little bit of everything. And then I've got some mystery crosses. I know what they are, ish. I know the male, but these are the female seeds that went in the grinder when I mixed buds and went, oh shit. So I know that they're in my breeding stock. I know roughly what they are and what they could be, based on the male. But I can't tell you what the female is, and they were all fire and dank, and they're all going to be used to breed with later. And they'll be getting some of them too.
Cool.
And none of those will be released in the F1 form.
Excuse me, hypothetical. Did I hear you say earlier you were offering this up until today? I'm thinking about the people that might tune into our program later. Not everybody, the viewership goes up over the next little while. Do you want to offer something to them too? I'll put you on the spot.
Yeah, that's how. All right. What's today? The 21st. So I'll go through for the followers within the week. So through the end of the month. Anybody after today, because the sample packs are while supplies last. Basically, I expect to sell out of them today. If I don't, they can still acquire a sample pack. Message me. Just start it with Cariboo Hart. Oh no, did I get lost?
Hey, you know what we got to do? We got to have a promo code, man. Come on, we got to have a promo code.
Message me with Cariboo Hart as the promo code.
There we go.
I like the sounds of that. That's badass.
Yeah.
Now we're going somewhere, guys.
And I'll send that out. It's sample packs will be while supplies last. After that, it'll be free shipping through the end of the month. For the watchers of the show, those who use that promo code. Basically, pricing after that is just $5 a seed. And then I've got a few different strain options. The ones that are listed on the flyer are the primary ones. The other offerings will be written up, and I'll draw something up to put those out at the end of the month too. But Hash Ingot CBD is the strawberry nuggets purple pheno pollen that I put on a super hash plant from Pyramid Seeds. It was a taller plant and it tasted phenomenal. Put them together and I'm getting a decent yielder. And that worked great for my midday. I'm very picky about when and what I smoke, where I'm at. Early in the morning, I can hit myself a little bit with the head because it's a few hours before I have to associate with anybody. And then around my midday, I need to lower my head, but still maintain my body. I'm supposed to be on a whole bunch of opiates and I refuse. So I don't. I haven't had a opiate filled in years. CBD changed my life. So around midday, I need my head to come down a little bit and still keep that elevated body. And then at the end of the day, I want a hard kick of both because I can, and it'll just make me feel better.
So do you have any projects lined up for the future? Like, are you getting any anything you're working on that maybe you're getting like delving deeper into the breeding as far as trying to get like a 100% hypothetical garden strain out there? Or I mean, I'm just at like, what's your plans?
Oh yeah. So I have about 2 years of projects lined up in my brain. But then something new comes along and it changes the order. So like I had about 18 months planned, and then somebody kicked me some Mandalorian genetics anvil to play with, and that got the wheels spinning, and that added another 6 months of breeding. I want to run 2 lines on it. I want to run a split line with feminized. All of my seeds are currently feminized, I should say that. I do want to run an anvil cross split line where I feminize an anvil first and then run the exact same pollination group with females and males. 2 different tents, obviously. I wouldn't be an a-hole and mix them up like that. But have it set to where the same crosses are available as regular and feminized, because I know that there are people who want to play with the regulars and who want to play with the males. And here, also because of that whole, I want to find them outgrowing in the yard like a weed is never going to happen if they're not available cheaply and at males. So, you know, throw out those male seeds, guys.
Get some up to Caribou, they'll be growing out in the brush.
Hey,
he likes to toss them.
Yeah. You mentioned how you throw your seeds out or whatever, or bird seed or whatever you do. I'm not sure. I throw them out in the wild, wherever I'm traveling around. Just, oh yeah, that looks like a good place where it'll get some water throughout the growing season. Throw handfuls out there, thousands over the years. It's just
something will come along and eat it and fertilize it extra.
Yep. Yeah, so it just seems, and it's so I can't wait till one day they'll end up getting reports from places where there's like, hey, stuff growing on the side of the road, and I'll be like, hey, I've been through there, and like wonder, you know, so it's only a matter of time. Johnny Appleseed, yo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but aside from that split line, I do have a couple F2s that I'm going to take. And just see how they work out, in test. I would never put it out to the market first because I've thrown away F2s. I've had great F1s that I took to F2s and they just, nope. Because I know that F2s are your genetic slush. It's when you open them all up. I want to have a variety of primarily good. You know, if I pop 20 of them and 18 of them are trash, I'm not going to breed with the 2 that are good. I'm not going to bother with them. When I pop 20 and 1 of them is trash, okay, that gives me 19 to play with. I'm going to use that. So I've thrown away a bunch of F2s, but I have some that I'm pretty confident in. I think Cannon Co is going to go great as an F2. Resinato, I'm questionable on. I'm just not sure on it. Sometimes I just get that phenotypical variation that makes me wonder. But all of my CBD 1-to-1s, instead of taking them to F2, which would open up that genetic pool where some of them would be grown as legal hemp and some of them would be pure THC. And it's kind of hard to say, hey guys, here's a 1-to-1 with elevated CBD if there's a chance you're going to get a pure THC plant. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to cross, I'm going to make very, very picky selections with them and cross them together. And on the side, I will also be doing some back cross projects with those. Trying to stabilize and working with any of those testers that hit me up that can get the product actually tested and get me those levels. I'll be working that on the side. That's going to take a little bit longer, obviously, because I refuse to act unethically. I'm not freaking Monsanto. I'm not going to put out anything telling you it's a CBD 1-to-1 or it's a CBD 1-to-1-ish, knowing full well that you could grow a full THC plant. I'm not okay with that. And I wouldn't do that because this is medicine as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's going out to somebody. You know, I guess that would make me an herbalist, and I don't want to get in trouble for, you know, practicing medicine without a license. and I wouldn't want to do anybody wrong. Plain and simple. I believe in karma, and I try to make as much good karma as I can. Oh, I've noticed a lot of Cannabis hitting me up and following. I very much appreciate y'all. I am not ignoring you. Let me get done with the show. I just got a new phone, so I don't want to like accidentally exit the Zoom call messing around on Cannabis. But I promise I'll hit up everybody after the show.
That's awesome. I hope we can help you sell your seeds out. That'd be awesome. That'd make me feel good.
I wish I had access to the chat. Why don't I? I don't want to stay on it all the time, but you know, I want to have it a little bit.
Yeah, well, our shows, what, they run a couple hours. You're welcome to stick around.
Hypothetical, are you on the YouTube itself, or are you just on Zoom?
I am on Zoom. I didn't realize that was an option.
You have to be on YouTube to actually see the
Yeah, in
live
order
chat.
to see the chat, you have to be on the YouTube itself to watching the show on YouTube. Otherwise, you just get us here, and any chat that you would just be with us.
Won't that give me a feedback?
You put your volume down on, yeah, wait, nope, that's because you're working on your phone, right?
Yeah, that there
Yeah.
lies the issue.
Yep, there's a conundrum, unless you can actually mute the video itself. I don't know though.
Can he not look at it afterwards? After the show's over, run through
Let's see, I can check it afterward.
Yeah, hold on, you can actually look.
Especially since I can't even view the video now. God, I suck.
Well, I mean, any questions that come in chat, I've been writing down, or somebody's been asking you, so we're not missing anything yet.
Oh,
Perfect.
good.
I don't see a mute on it anywhere without actually turning your phone down.
All right. Hey, do we got a pretty good mix in that chat? People chatting back and forth?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of jabber going on in there.
24 people in there right now.
I'm trying to keep track of it and pay attention to everything that's going on up here.
Yeah, same here. I'm keep on looking at my phone, computer. I need to get a monitor like Tristan, so I can look at both.
Can't figure it out. I'm trying to get my my thing charged up. Having a terrible time there.
Well, that's what's nice about my setup is I got my computer screen right in back of my phone, and I can look at chat and still see what's going on the YouTube channel. I mean, it's great. So I'm keeping kind of track of both for everybody.
I appreciate that. Hey, real quick, can the how was I gonna run? Oh, I'm also available if you don't have a Cannabis. I'm available at hypotheticalgenetics@gmail.com. Just to check the chat, can the third person to type 23 email me and email me with your shipping info, and I'll throw you a pack of seeds.
That's awesome. That's
It
awesome.
turned into a little more than a cheap plug. Okay, give me a break.
Oh fuck! This guy.
Wow, Uncle Rick.
Well, that was rude. Okay, that was rude.
I'm sorry.
Hey, thanks so much, Hype, for coming on the show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go. I got some family stuff I got to do that came up. But
Good to see
hey,
you.
I love you guys, and growers love.
Take care, Opie.
Later, Opie.
I'll catch y'all later.
Later, Opie.
Have a great day. So that was the third person to type 23. Was that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're looking at Mr. Cooksey is the winner.
Hey, Grats Cooksy, hit me up. Hypotheticalgenetics@gmail.com or on Cannabis at Hypothetical Gardner. Sorry, what
Hell
to
yeah.
say?
Finally got my vape pen going. Wow, full of CBD.
There you go.
So Drizzt was saying something earlier about that we needed like a dab bell or something like that, and I don't got one, but I told him we do got a dab bullhorn that we could use. So how'd that be? Dab time?
There you go.
Anyone wearing earphones is just like, fuck.
I just took one. Oh man. All right. Well, I guess here we go.
I'll have to remember that's coming up when I rewatch this.
Be a hell of a Sunday today, guys.
Fuck, I don't even have anything up here, man. My bong's downstairs, everything. So fuck. See if I got anything in here.
So, Prophet, I got into the video that you guys did on Friday night, and you were showing us the pendulum thing, I'm really anxious to give it a shot.
Glad to hear it, man.
Yeah,
I had Beelzebub hit me up, and he was saying he was running around doing it on every living thing in his house, and it was coming up correct, you know.
I wasn't sure if the DP's question was answered. I think he was concerned about finding out if this would work on a female who may or may not be pregnant.
Yes, I did it with my niece. I guess she had a boy like 2 weeks prior before she was told. I was actually kind of amazed that it actually overpowered the female energy that she would have gave off. I would assume I would have had it hermitating because of it, if it was a male that was inside of her. But nah, man, the thing was just going left and right. And I'm like, wow, all right. Guess it's a dude.
Cool. Nobody else tried it?
I haven't yet, but I'm gonna be trying it when I'm playing with those anvil.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the results, you know. I've got a long stench of my own results, so I'm pretty confident in telling you guys this, you know.
I'm a firm believer in the quantum field, that there are things that we don't yet understand that we are just now coming to understand. We are slowly proving hippies right with science. So I'm not negating it. I just want to try it and log results.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, it got quiet.
Sorry, I was typing with Sam.
I'm unmuted. Sorry. I
put his email address in there. I think I misspelled it, but I may have misspelled it, but you get the idea. They'll get your email address.
Sweet. Hypothetical is spelled just like my name on the video. HYPATHETICAL.
Yeah,
and
I had an I instead of the
correctly
E.
or genetics. What was that? I'm sorry.
I said I had an I instead of the E in there, so I know it's misspelled, but they get the idea. I mean, you know, they can just take it right off the screen, except put genetics instead of Gardner.
Yep, that's exactly it.
So is anyone got anything cool going on in their garden right now? Steve, I know you got yourself some roommates here recently. How are they going? Oh yeah, dab time. Talk to the guy that can't talk, of course.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Oh, I was talking to DPO up there, gonna talk about his burn bin he had going on, but he was just loading up to do a dab, so bad timing. His lungs are probably about to go into convulsions. He'll be indisposed for a minute or so. Indica B, what's new with you, brother?
Not much, man. Thank you. We got. Come on, guys, out of here. You guys make too much noise, please. Sorry, I got the shepherds up here this morning with me. They're fighting with each other with a toy, they're arguing over one toy up here. Anyways, but yeah, we got 2 orange gas and my wife are growing and the tent going. We're gonna take some clones next week and then flip that tent into flower. I got 2 lemon Jeffreys in there as well, and 2 two key lime pie by Cashew Seeds as well in there. So we're gonna flip that whole tent to flower. Got the flower room. Like I said, I think I'm on week 5 or 6. I'd have to check the calendar. It's like tomorrow I'm hitting week 5 or 6. I got a tea going right now. We're gonna hit him with a tea here about 3 o'clock ish, and yeah. So we got 2 golden goat going in there, 2 lemon Jeffrey, 4 cherry Garcias, and 3 key lime pies going in flower right now. So and yeah, shout out to Adam on the granddaddy garlics, man. We're sexing those right now, so we got 5 of those and 5 dragon punches. I threw in the flower room a few days ago, so we're sexing all those out. I'm hoping for some females here. And yeah, then I got the veg tent with all clones popping ready for the next round for when we harvest the flower room, so we can stay consistent here. So.
Nice.
Yeah, and hopefully be popping some of your beans, man. Here one because we're gonna be running outdoors, so I'm gonna kind of, I don't want to say like shut down here, but I usually take a little small break and just kind of keep it, mellow here. Maybe some mothers or something, and maybe that's the fun time, we'll say. So yeah, we'll probably do that, man, and see what we can find. So then, we can run some of those, dude. So yeah, we got a lot going on. So a lot of positive stuff going on. So
You're lining up your outdoor stuff.
yeah, so we're gonna go with so we can by state laws 12 plants out here in Massachusetts. So yeah, we're gonna go shit. I posted it up on Canada, but I already forgot because I got so much shit going on. But yeah, we're gonna go Orangegasm. What else did I have there? I want to say lemon Jeffrey. It was. I want to grow some candy store out there again. We ran that last year and I had really good results, surprisingly. So I'm hoping for the same. And shit, man, I don't know. OKC. So yeah, orange Kate Kush or whatever it is there by Ethos. We're gonna run some of those. Yeah. And I know it's a little kind of and White Wedding too by Ethos. I'm gonna run a couple of those outdoors and see how they do. So
I was meaning to ask you, congratulations, by the way, on getting that greenhouse deal going. When
Yeah,
do you think that's actually going to be up and running?
Ooh, yeah, good question. So we got bought. Well, I don't want to say bought out, but we were looking at this one piece of property. It was awesome. It was killer. We were kind of working with the town, and it was in the right zoning laws and all that stuff. And so my buddy, one of our business partners here and owners, went up and looked at it. I was supposed to go. I couldn't make it. I had some other thing come up, and I guess a neighbor came out and somebody bought it cash the day before. So we're on the hunt looking at another piece. We're actually waiting on town and a few things right now. If we hear back from that, it's 80, I think it's 85 acre lot. It's got a nice brook and river running through it. So it's if we can score that, close all that stuff down, pay lawyer, have that, and have everything going through the state. I don't want to say we'll be. We're hoping next season we'll be up and running next season. And that's in a 1,500 square foot next gen greenhouse. We're allowed 5,000 square feet for a micro in Massachusetts. So just for cost, man, because we're trying the 3 of us and then another investor, I'll say. That's just a cannabis connoisseur and a half. You know what I mean? He knows the talent that we have here and the dedication. So he wants to invest in that and collect something, which I'm cool with. But and like he said, he leaves it all up to us. He doesn't want no control. He doesn't want nothing. You know what I mean? Which is awesome to me. So it's which will help us out extremely. But funding this all ourselves, it's cost a lot of money. So that's why we settled on 1,500 square feet for now, even though we're allowed 5,000 square foot canopy, and then the rest of it will be all in wide open, off the back of the greenhouse. So that will be all done for concentrates, RSO, things of those nature, and then we're hoping the 1,500 square feet we can really show off our green thumbs here in Massachusetts and the organics and side of it, and put out some of the top shelf premium medical cannabis we can, and make our name for ourselves. So by the time we do have, the funds and things like that, if we're blessed enough to expand into that full 5,000 square foot greenhouse, you know what I mean? We will, and we'll be able to put flower out here consistently, year round, which would be awesome. So we're hoping within a year, man. So we're shooting for next season, to have something, going. At least I know here, you gotta go through a long, pretty long process. They're pushing micro and craft businesses right now in Massachusetts on the top of the pile, which is awesome and is a huge blessing, because they really believe in craft and micro out here, not more so commercialized, which is a huge blessing out here. Yeah, we hope within a year, maybe within 2 years, we'll be our revenue will be lifted, and our product will be on the market. You know what I mean? So those are the goals right now. We'll see. So
Right on.
All right. And so, Dick Pick, you want to talk about your roommates now? Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to use that online anymore.
That's okay.
Last time I do that online. Sorry,
My
bud.
mom probably didn't make it this far into the show, so it's okay.
That was like one of my favoriteest things about our friendship, is just having a buddy named that you can just call him that. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, my mom actually watches the show, guys. It's like,
she doesn't. She does. She just comments on it.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
So I know my parents don't watch this show, and they even grow weed and everything, but it's just, this is a little bit too mindless for them at times, which is totally understandable. So anyways, your new roommates, how you doing?
Yeah. So I got. Well, which ones are you talking about? The worms?
Yeah. Or do you have more roommates that we don't know about?
Yeah. Well, no, I grabbed 4 of the chongos from my buddy last night. I could put them in there under here for the flip, you know what I mean, to sex them out real quick, see what's up with them. And so yeah, I got those going on in there now. I'm super excited. I think I did the stem rub thing that Prophet was talking about. He was like, hey, if it smells like a plant, it's gonna be a male. You know what I mean? If you got some like terpeness to it or whatever. So I did that just to see what was up. I didn't do the pendulum thing. Maybe I should today. We'll see what's up with that.
Was that the root stem thing or the leaf thing?
The rub, the stem. So 3 of them are really like skunky, and then the one is just like super chlorophyll, So we'll see with that, and then I'll try to do the little pendulum thing today. But the New York State of Mind are coming along great. Deep into week 3-ish. Yeah. And they're frosting up really good, starting to stack up. So stoked on that. And yeah, just my buddy got a lot of other stuff going on, so I just got to check in with him a little bit more consistently, make sure everything's dialed in. Super stoked on those coming up too. And yeah, that dab horn just got me. I just taken them.
Well, that's the idea. I'm out of dabs right now. Like I had a couple of them for Friday night, which definitely did the trick on that show. But that was like the first time I'd done some in like 2 weeks. And so now I got to get my hands on more.
Yeah, I'm out of flour right now. I got to go get some flour today, man. I love my flour. I'm a flour guy at the end of the day, but I love some good dabs,
Yeah, well, instead of making...
I can't wait to start squishing, man. That's what I'm stoked on. I want to get one before this harvest coming up. So I don't know, might be able to squeeze it in, but definitely before my birthday. You know what I mean? So that's going to be fun. I just want to see what like the full spectrum squish is about, and being able to dab that, because I've never dabbed solventless or anything,
Oh, you're going to love it.
Yeah, I've only had BHO, so got every version of it under the sun, but I've never had like a good squish, so I'm stoked on it.
Yeah, I love it. I've told this story a bunch of times on the show, so I won't do it again. But just like this smell when you do like a good long press session where it just fills the house with just that terpene smell where it almost like burns your nostrils. It's like, oh, it's heaven. So
well, that bubble hash that Indica B had made, that stuff was it was really nice because it's a full spectrum high. You know what I mean? You get the kind of the whole the
I
whole
can't
high
wait.
to it. Like a lot of these other ones, like you were talking about, like diamonds and stuff like that. Like, that's cool or whatever, but it's just like I like the sauce and stuff. You know, I like the different terpenes involved and how they all play together, and so that's what I'm really stoked about with the squishing, because you get a lot more of the.
I
Fred,
can't
I
wait to
thought
make some more, man. Impressive.
you had said the other day that you were going to try to squish some yourself this weekend while you were at the house, and I was hoping you had got time to do that.
That you talking to me?
Yeah. The other day you had said you were going to try to squish some while you were there at the house, and I was hoping you had time to do that, but apparently you hadn't yet.
Yeah, no. So basically, like all most of my like all my genetics, my dab press and all of that kind of stuff, that all went up to my parents' place for the time being. Just because my living situation is uncertain for the time being. So at least if it's up at my parents' place, I know they're in a safe place. And that's where my dab press is. And right now I'm basically, I'll be up there in 2 weeks. Everything I had off my last harvest, I'm kind of bringing it around, curing it on the road sort of thing. And so I'll be up there in 2 weeks. And then I think I might just run through everything I have and press the shit out of it. Because honestly, the way it was harvested and it's been dealt with so far was just roughly, and it hasn't all even been trimmed properly yet. Cause I just, like I said, I just had to make sure I had to get it out of here. The end of story, right? I don't need to go into more detail. I think people understand. So it's not good looking bud. So I'll press that, make a shit ton of rosin out of it. And then, I'll just go buy a QP off of someone, and, that'll be my flower for the time being.
That's cool. I'm just glad you got, I thought you were going to try to do something while you were there, so you didn't, but if it was up in the other place, that's cool.
Well, I just, to be honest, my my situation is, it's not as bad as I thought it was last week between the wife and I. I thought it was going to be an explosion. Sorry to go about this on the air, guys, but I guess we're here. And it was just actually we're very good at communicating and keeping it civil. So I was just worried about, how it is. We've all heard the stories of vindictive exes and stuff like that. And that was my fear. And it turns out that is not the case at all. Yeah, I don't want to talk about my personal life. Can we change the subject now, please?
Yeah, take it from an experience. Yeah, you want to work that thing out. Been through it 3 times, so you think I get it, but no.
Yeah, no, it is what it is, and it's for the better. It is, like I said.
Life, man. It happens. You just got to make the most positive outcome of it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is my thing now, is what I'm saying is, okay, so I am down, but I am far from out. Like I said, I've got a couple people that are willing to hold on to a few plants for me and stuff like that, keep those genetics alive. If I can just kind of hand out a few tents and be like, okay, when these are ready to flip, make seeds for me, right? And I'll just, and sooner than later, I'll have roots. And when I have roots set down, then I'm good. It's just a temporary thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about somebody else's stuff now.
I'm gonna jump off, guys, because I gotta go hit the dispenso since I'm all out of stuff. And get ready for shout out to Automation is Freedom. He was in chat with us earlier. He's coming up, so take care of the garden. And I just want to thank you, Hypothetical, for coming on, brother. It was huge, man. And I appreciate you. I love your vibes, man. Your work, dude. You're a good ass dude, brother. And I'll hit you up too, man, after talk some CBD with you and stuff. And yeah, thank you for everybody in chat and support and everybody on the panel, all my brothers here. I wish you guys a beautiful, blessed day, a humble day, blessed day, and we'll chat with you guys later on some point. And yeah, have a great rest of your show, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
See you later.
See you next time. Prophet, what do you got going on in your garden? Anything special at the moment?
I'm transplanting today, so I can start over again.
Nice.
So nothing too spectacular, you know.
Yeah.
Waiting for the beginning.
Have you got the pendant nearby? You want to give us another?
I do actually.
All right.
Hadn't moved since the last time I showed you. All right. I'm gonna take it, wrap it around, let it hang. All right, let it stop. Hold on. Stop scratching. Stay here. This is a male frequency going left to right.
Yep.
And if my dog wants to work with me, hold on.
Never have an animal as a prop, okay?
Hey man, she made herself the prop. You stay there. You're gonna start noticing it going in a circular pattern.
Yep.
And she's a female. Her name's Roxy. If you want, I could zoom the camera in closer to prove it, you know, but
I get it.
all right, but that's basically it. And if it starts kind of like going in wacky directions, wants to go circular left to right, stops, you probably got a Hermie, you know. And that's how I've tested seeds for 5-6 years, and I've only had a few go by me, you know, like 5 or 6, to be honest. Maybe I probably mess up once a year, you know. I'll be like, it could be female, but I'll miss that little bit of wiggle that could be there. It's a little more female dominant. And then I'll put it through, and the next thing you know, she's growing balls, or it's growing balls. But other than that, you know, it's about 1 a year I might have slip by.
That's cool.
I'm gonna mark it right now. So will this work? Will this work, Prophet? Is anything
That should.
hanging?
Yeah, anything hanging off a train, off a string. I don't know why it just
I got
picks up the
this right here.
frequency.
We're gonna mark it right here. We're gonna see if this works. Let's do it. You might become a superstar. Who knows, man? Let's see. So what? I just hold over it, right, without moving or anything.
Yeah.
And if it starts going crazy, I got a
Hermie.
A Hermie. All right. So a little transgender action.
Is this what our fucking show has become?
Little bit.
What if it doesn't move?
You got to wrap it around your finger once.
Yep.
And then you got to get it close. You got to bring it down and get it close. From here, it looks like it wants to do a couple of things.
All right, got another one. We'll try this one. Maybe that one's just confused right now.
It could be dependent too. I've never had one that was so bulky on it.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Let's go. All right.
Put it over your hand first. Let's see if it even registers you. Put it over your hand.
If you're a boy or a girl.
Yeah. Over the truth now.
We might find out more about him than we wanted to know in the first place.
I can't see because he's in a small screen.
Hermie.
Yeah.
I got an Indiana Naughty.
Ramsey.
See how you're giving it? It's going. It seems like it's going left to right, but you're gonna need a smaller pendant, man. It might be too heavy for it to move it.
Yeah.
I see left and right.
Let's see.
It's slight, but if you go with a smaller pendant, it'll be much more pronounced. You know, like.
Oh, yeah.
I got this in the mail for free. It's the only piece of jewelry I think I own.
Why is everybody like that?
One day.
I had to mail something to a friend of mine. He's like, I got no necklaces. I'm like, nothing?
Yeah, I don't.
We'll try it anyway.
I used to have a lot of jewelry in my face and stuff, but not anymore.
Take that ring out of your nose.
I always wanted a nose ring, like a hoop, but I never did. I'm done with all that myself.
You can send me a picture of the plant from the top, and I can read it.
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't think he does. I'm not going to be able to do it from the screen. You'll have to actually send it to my phone.
All right.
How old is it?
How old is it? I just picked this up from last night. I think this is I can't remember. I gotta ask him, tell you the truth.
Is that
What
one
is
of
it?
those chongos?
But yeah.
Are those chest banger genetics?
Yep. And chest banger genetics. Yep. So 3 of the stem rubs, I mean, come back skunk, and 1 comes back just like skunk and gassy, which is pretty nice. I've never really followed up on a stem rub before, so except for that sour stomper I had, that was stem rub was pretty unique, or it's close to the final outcome as well. But yeah, I'll have these in here for a little while. I got to do some rearranging and move on from there.
Prophet, were you talking about leaf rub or stem rub?
Leaf rub. I mean, even the stem, it's all got smell to it,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely like the females are definitely pungent, That's what I've noticed, as I've trimmed my veg plants, when I was coming across males before I was doing the pendulums, it they didn't smell. And then when I would come across females as I was trimming them, they had this real pungent, like what it's supposed to be, smell to it,
Rick, what do you got? Whereabouts are you at with your garden? Have you flipped yet, or what's going on?
Oh yeah. I'm I guess I'm in week 2 now and starting to show hairs, and I would like to see it thinner than it is now. I did a major strip when I flipped and didn't do enough. The growth has just been incredible.
I like it.
So that's a nice problem to have.
Yeah. Those are good problems. So we'll see that how that goes on here in a bit. You got anything interesting going on, Drizzt?
Generally not. My grow is just kind of like on auto right now, halfway through the flower cycle. As you can see by the picture that was taken this morning, just before the lights came on, they're starting to puff out, fill up, and all the leaves are getting frosty on them. They're looking really good. That one there is the Chango that he was talking about, the one that's right behind me. So it's doing really well. But those things are really weird because when that plant was still in veg, just when I flipped it into flower, it started throwing spurs on the the stems, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be a male. It's spurs, it's not hairs. But that was the one that turned out to be the female, and the other one didn't have nothing right up until it started, a little bit of stuff, and then next thing I know, I woke up one day and there's just balls everywhere all over those buds that it was starting. It had 16 different branches, and they were all like starting to get balls all over the buds. Like, I'm like, wow, okay, that's male. Gotta go. See ya. So I took it out, but I mean, I couldn't tell, right? I mean, it was just like overnight, it just automatically poof. And I was like, wow, okay, definitely a male.
Cool. Very cool.
Do you recall, Drizzt, what day that was at flower?
It was like number 11, I think. 10 or 11. They didn't show anything for over a week. Like I said, the one started throwing spurs, and I thought, okay, well, that's going to be a male. And then that turned out to be the female. So those are just kind of strange to work with. And when I was talking to the chest banger guy, Uncle Skunkle said, look, he said, I had 5 of them that I could have swore were going to be males. I took them outside. He said 3 of those 5 turned out to be females. He said, you never know, right up until you see balls. Don't take it out of the tent until you see balls. I'm like, okay. And that's what I did. Yeah, sure enough. It was the opposite of what I thought was going to be happening.
I grew some monster plants one year outdoors. Well, they were 10, 11 feet. And on June the 21st, June the 22nd, just like you were saying, balls appeared on one plant everywhere. I couldn't believe it because that was the summer solstice. So the day, June the 22nd, was a day shorter. and like suddenly this one turned male. It was an incredible little thing about nature.
Yeah, it's really weird how it automatically just boom, all of a sudden like that. It was just like overnight. I checked them the night before because with the flower, I had to seal up the top thing. If I don't in the morning, it's too much humidity in there. You know, if I leave it sealed up. So every morning in the morning, I go in and I open it up and I close it up every night just before the lights go out. And when I went in there to close it up for the night, it just looked normal. And I went in there to open it up the next day before the lights came on. And it was like, boom, balls everywhere on that thing. And I'm like, ooh, wait a minute. That's not good. You got to go.
And hopefully you still, I would imagine, have some time between the time the balls appear and pollen appears. I'm just assuming that. And then one of my friends here told me that, spray all the plants around there with water and that'll kill the pollen.
Right. I mean, it didn't even get to the point where any of them were close to opening up. They were just all like, you could see balls all over the place. And I'm like, okay, you got to go. I mean, none of them, it was like only a 12-hour thing that they could have came out. It never had a chance for any of them to open up and bring out pollen. So I wasn't worried about that. I just took it right out of the garden immediately and took it out in the garage. And that thing sat out there for probably over a week, had no light. I didn't feed it, and it was still alive and kicking when I clipped it and threw it away. I tried to give it away and nobody wanted it. So I'm like, okay, well, you got to go. Clip, into garbage it went. But I couldn't believe it. It's still, it was cold out there, no lights, didn't feed it over a week, and it still was alive. I mean, it was droopy, but if I would have fed it, it would have put some light on it. It would have came right back alive. I know that.
I had to kill those fuckers.
Yeah, they'll survive for a good long while.
All right. I forgot to mention earlier in the show. So the Sunday morning wake and bake show, it might have to switch to like every other Sunday for the time being, because I'm going to be on the road working for the foreseeable future, and it's looking like it'll probably be like a 10-4 style or something along those lines, which means I'll be working a lot of Sundays from now on. But I love doing this. I still want to do it every chance that we get. So as soon as I'm able to figure out what the schedule is, whether it's 10-4s or whatever, we can figure out if we're gonna do Sunday like every other Sunday, and then like maybe do an afternoon show. If people are down for that still, because I still like this right now is basically the highlight of my week, is getting together with you guys. And so, but it's just, how life scheduling is, right? So just throw that out there for next week. I'll be working in the morning, but I'd love to try and do something in the afternoon.
Yeah, I got to get going myself, but a pleasure meeting you, Hypothetical. And I look forward to getting over to your website. And you too, my friend, DP, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you again, Prophet. Grizzit, you guys have a great couple of days, and we'll look forward to maybe, who knows, Tuesday night.
Yep, well, Tuesday night is still a go. It's just I work in the mornings when this show would be going on typically right now. So during Sundays, right? So, but and Tuesday is going to be awesome, man. We got Q-Grows coming in. One of the creators of the Cannabis app. So you're going to want to stop in and check that out. It's going to be a killer show. We've had some people helping us out. Brother Steve here, he's been helping line up some excellent content creators to come on the show in the future. And it's just things are bright for us and this show and everyone surrounding. It's going to be a hell of a time. With that, anybody else have anything else they need to add to or?
No, I got to get going too. I just want to thank everybody, and everybody have a great day. And Caribou, I'm down for whatever you want to do. Just email, dude. You know how to get a hold of me. Just send the chat, dude. I'll get it.
Yep. My preference would be if it's going to be like I'm working every other weekend kind of thing, is I would love to do a morning one on Sundays and then the afternoon on the days I am working. Like I said, this is just awesome. And then we could do it earlier in the day too, because kind of whenever I get back to the hotel room, instead of waiting till it's later in the night when it's kind of more bedtime-ish for a lot of you guys. So let's we'll keep the lines of communication open as always.
All right, take care, everybody.
All right,
Later, Dritz.
great night.
Oh, you know what I'm super stoked about, guys? I completely forgot. Oh my god, man. The genetics I just got in the mail. I'm super stoked about that, man. Ye motherfucking Ha. He's a badass. For real, I did a little logo for a little slapper he made up and stuff, and he sent me some Firefly from Irie Genetics. I was super stoked about that. Yeah, I'm super stoked about that. And then he also sent me some Ethos. He sent me some Ethos glue. I've been wanting kind of something, heavier, so I need something for nighttime and stuff like that. And I'm super stoked about that. But he sent me a cross he made that he dubbed Stranger Danger. I love that name. It's fucking hilarious. I can already think of a dope logo for that, you know what I mean? But that's Scarlet Begonia's cross with Linda Jeffrey. So that's going to be super dope. Yeah, so there's going to be some killer phenos of that, I'm sure. So shout out to him, man. That shit's dope. Appreciate the hell out of that.
Oh, speaking of genetics, the DK Orange and the Pelagius are actually not mathematical. My friend corrected me. It's dark side genetics.
Oh, dark side.
Yeah, I just didn't want to sound like a jackass giving the wrong one. Well, I do the previous show, but in all fairness, I was drunk.
Yeah, so you want to shout out any more of your stuff real quick? Hypothetical. Is anybody new in the chat or anything? I haven't been keeping up. I got stoned for a second, guys. Sorry.
Oh man, I have not been able to check the chat. I've been afraid of that feedback loop, being on the phone, not knowing it ahead of time. My apologies. I just got a new one.
It's all good, man. Chat feedback on chat's all been positive. Everybody's been loving you on here so far. So it's been
good.
Man, you're just dropping knowledge bombs left, right, and center. It's awesome.
I'm glad. I appreciate that. I'm gonna come in here and kind of cheat just a little bit. I've got some plants that are coming down this week. So excuse the background noise a little bit, but we all know what that sound is.
That's the exciting sound right there. You're about to. That's anticipation.
All righty. So these front two are mine. The back two are Mephisto, because yes, I still grow other people's genetics too. This one here is an AVT from Mephisto, very floppy, but very resinous. So I'm liking it. It's probably got another week or so, but it's just about done. Sour Crinkle from them, which I used their first version, which was squattier and denser, to make the Resinato and Cannon Co. And by shorter and denser, this one's Cannon Co. She's done. She's ready. I can take her anytime this week. And then over here, I have one that I'm not going to release as an F1, but I might take it to F2 just because I like the way it looks.
Are you showing us something hypothetical? Because right now you're not.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no. How do I go back to it?
Come on, Caribou. You're supposed to be on this.
Well, I was trying to, but I didn't realize I was muted. I was telling that.
How much did y'all see?
We got the first couple.
The beginning from the Mephisto.
All right. And then Cannon Co. right here. Nice and dense and frosty.
I'm envious of your auto grow.
Auto flowers, auto pots, and cocoa.
Huh.
I've never
It's
had
a hell of a
luck with them.
combination. And here is a fruit punch to strawberry nugget. I'm sorry, strawberry nuggets pollinated a fruit punch. And she's done nice and beautiful, purple and in black. And she's dense all the way down. She's very leafy, but I was surprised at how dense these down here are.
You hit the button again.
Did I go out again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I back?
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. It's all right. I'm closing it out. But that fruit punch is what I was recently doing a giveaway on for basically the first 2 orders that saw that post on Cannabuzz. Follow me on Cannabuzz if you're not. If you're not already on Cannabuzz, get on Cannabuzz. It's a great community. And I did a post where basically the next 2 orders got a couple seeds of that. I am not releasing that. It's never going to be for sale. Frankly, I don't have enough of it. There's a downside to cheap tents. No, no.
Since I'm about to become a tent grower in the near future, we should kind of dedicate a chunk of an episode to tents and like what tents to buy, what tents not to buy, because like you just said, there's cheap tents and not cheap tents, and I don't know anything about them. What are you rocking, Steve?
That's a 3x3. It's a piece of shit, man. That thing sucks. Light leaks all over it. That thing's like, man, I got black duct tape all over it. I put a big old sheet over it, man, a comforter, because I'm scared at night, man. Like for real, it's terrible. And like all I did was save like $15. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So definitely do your homework on your actual tent material and stuff like that. But I mean, other than that, and I wish I would have gone with a 4x4, honestly, just because like, who doesn't like extra room at the end of the day?
Yeah.
It gives you a little bit more versatility with controlling the environment as well. But that's what I got going on right now.
Dude, that looks great.
Yeah, it's starting to frost up, thicken up. Just gave him some water yesterday. Started alternating the feeding water. Now that recharge out of there, I'll water, feed. Just trying to keep it as clean as possible. This is all bottle fed right here. These chongos, that's all the living soil that we're making. That's over here in the, I'll rearrange all that this morning or once I get off and stuff like that. But yeah, so this will be my 3rd harvest since I got out of the joint. So pretty stoked on that. Popped them November 26th, I believe. I gotta look, but so I vegged them out for a good while, trained the fuck out of them, taught the fuck out of them. Thought I was reading deficiencies, had a really bad lockout. You know what I mean? Like my ppms were way up coming out, so battled that for a second. Still hitting CalMag on one from the deficiency or from the lockout, but it's bouncing back really strong. I'm stoked. You know what I mean? You're starting to really get some terp profiles and stuff. It's Washington Heights Haze crossed with Do 18 from World Trade Genetics, New York State of Mind. So follow them on Instagram. They're pretty dope. I try to get them over on Cannabuzz. They're talking about it. But I'm definitely excited to once I find out if I'm going to stay here or not. When my lease is up in August, I'm definitely going to start having more room set aside for CBD type strains and autos and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to hit you up around that time. Hypothetical.
Well, here's one of my plans also, because like I told you, I got 5 of those Charlotte's Web seeds left. and you're gonna get at least one of them. Hurt and Albertan's getting one or two of them, and Fluffykins is so there's 3 people. Those are gonna get divided up in between. So you start playing with that, and then also Don Miller just sent me a care package that showed up in the last week, and there's some nuclear cherries feminized CBDs in there. So I'm gonna start fucking around with those. And I think so if the wife or the ex, however that works out, she wants to grow just CBD stuff, I might just get her to hold on to CBD phenotypes for me, and then just take a couple cuttings whenever I need them. And like I said, I'm reliant on other people right now, right? So beggars can't be choosers, and if that's what she wants is to grow CBDs, well, let's grow CBDs. Eh? Let's get good at growing CBDs while we're at it, because we all need our medicine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Something else about the tank quality and stuff. Convenience of autos is you don't have to worry about those light leaks so hard.
Yeah.
You really don't. Like, you can be in the middle of the night and just be like, hey, come on, we're gonna go for a walk. And so that's part of the reason why I run the cheap tents, is because I don't grow photos at all. And I do have light leaks like hell in both of my tents. I just don't have to worry about it because autos.
Yeah, this is good to know. See, like, I fully believe that auto flowers are the future. You've all heard me say it a million times, especially for outdoor growing in the colder climates like where I'm at. My problem is I've never gotten a good yield off them, kind of like what Prophet was saying earlier, right? It's just like I've tried. I like to have one going at all times. Problem is I think I just don't bother trying to dial it in and give it its own attention. It just kind of exists in the bedroom. And everything I've heard says once you start stressing them out, you start losing time with them. And I figure it probably gets stressed and just not the care it wants. Any quick pointers you could give for someone like us that can?
Absolutely. Genetics. Check your breeder. I have certain ones that I grow for certain things. And I don't hate on any of the breeders. All the ones that came before me, all the ones that everybody knows, Fast Buds, Mephisto, Auto Seeds, Dynafem. I've used them all in my breeding. I go to each one for each thing. Auto Seeds turned me on to CBD. Dynafem's the one that I actually used to grow, or that I actually used to breed. It was Dynafem's cookies that finally made me like a cookies, because I've never liked the cookies, never liked cookies cross, none of them. They all tasted like crap. They all smelled like shit. I didn't like them. No. But this one was actually decent. It had nice branching and it didn't taste completely ass. So I used it in a breeding project. I had Fast Buds, their Blue Dreamatic. I loved their Blue Dreamatic. I liked it better than regular Blue Dream. I wasn't like hashtag fuck Blue Dream, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is my favorite strain either. But the auto form kind of helped me a little bit more with the kind of in the day pain. So I used that in my breeding project. It got nice and decent size for me. The one that I bred with on that one was a 5-ounce plant in a 2-gallon pot. 104 under CMH, under a 300 light, or I'm sorry, 300 watt light. So they are available. It's in the genetics, because on the flip side, that CBD Kush is 45 grams in the same condition. A lot of mine are not bred to be the super industrial yielders. Resinato has some that'll give it to you. Hashingot, which is one of the parent strains of CBD, of the Hashingot CBD, and it will be a parent strain in other crosses. Gets big. In that same condition, gave me 6 ounces, being 1 of 4. So they can get big, they can yield, they can be dank, or other ones just they don't. I have Mephisto, of course. I love their potency. I hate that a lot of them are not big yielders. I like earlier on, like a couple years ago, it seems like things changed a little bit, but they were all about their structure. They didn't have floppy plants. They were all just held themselves up and like nice dense stalks. And that was the breeding stock that I was using. Things changed recently. I still like them. I'm still growing their AVT and their new stuff. They had that kind of like swampy, dank, the feet, the cheeses, those kind of smells. Not so much on the high and fruity. That's what Dynafem had for me. Fast Buds, I wanted to like more of their stuff. I really, really did. I gave them a lot of shots. Most of their stuff didn't taste right for me. For me, it didn't come out right. A lot of them are super popular strains, so I'm thinking it's just me. It's okay. It's plant medicine. It's going to be different. But I breed for me, so I'm not using certain things. I use
And stuff like that. You mentioned not being a fan of like cookies crosses. I've tried some that I've really enjoyed, but a lot of them to me are just nothing special. Like my wedding cake that I've had around for about a year now. It's never been any. I don't care for it, but everybody around me that tries it's just like, dude, that's awesome. I'm just like, no. So that's the other thing. If you're breeding, why I think you should be breeding for yourself, if you can, because you're gonna know what it's gonna do for you. You can't necessarily predict what it's gonna do for another person, and other than what it's based doing on for yourself. So
right. I have a second test subject here, and so she does a lot of the testing of the flower with me. And of course, some buddies that I ask too many questions of. But ruh-roh.
Good dog.
That's my heart out. She's saying, "Daddy, it's time."
yeah.
So unfortunately, I have to cut off there. It's time for me to go and be a parent and do the things.
Yeah, it's all good. It's about that time for me too. My kids are up and at 'em and starting to run around, and I leave town tomorrow, so I might as well get to spending some time with them.
There you go. I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate all the feedback from everybody. I am going to go back. I'm sorry for the dogs.
All good.
They're playing, I promise. I appreciate you having me on. Everybody in the chat, I'm going to go back and read through it all. I'm going to go back and rewatch the show too. Let's be honest.
Once the show stops streaming, you won't be able to see the chats from the live show.
Yeah, it'll take it takes about 12 to 15 hours, I think, for the chat to come up on the replay with it. I found.
Okay. Plan for that tomorrow then.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I think that's about it. Now,
I appreciate you coming out, man. That was awesome. Thanks for all the knowledge, man. That was awesome. And
yeah, it's definitely informative.
Stuff like that.
I appreciate y'all.
All right, man. Yeah, have a great night or great morning, great day. I don't even know what time of day anymore.
A little bit of all of it, right? Have a good one. I appreciate y'all.
All right, we appreciate you, and come on back anytime, man. We love having you on. Love to see you some more.
Absolutely. There you go.
Later.
All right, you boys got anything else to add to the show before we shut her down, or?
No.
Everybody have a great, positive, productive day. B+. Everybody, we got the gift of today. You know what I mean? Let's make it a positive day. Not only for ourselves, let's try to make it positive for somebody else. Fluffy, dad's in our prayers. Bug, if you're still watching, what's up? My cats are awesome. All right. Y'all have a good one.
Later.
As well.
Caribou, you're on. You're muted. You're muted.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for that. Yeah. So once again, shout out to Fluffkins and your dad, dedicated to you guys and sending positive thoughts your way, brothers. And That's what I've got. Don't forget to see us Tuesday night for the Q Growers show. That's going to be a stellar show, I do believe. And Profit, I will talk to
Yeah.
you.
Can't wait.
Oh, that's going to be a good one. It's going to be a hell of a
Caribou, take care of yourself, man.
Will do, brother. Will do.
Keep me posted.
Will do. See you Tuesday, man.
Later.
All right.
Later, everybody.